Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And that breaking news, 2 shootings in Durham overnight. What you're seeing right here is a live look from the WRAL breaking news tracker at one of those scenes on East Umstead Street. What we know about the separate shootings that left a man dead and a 13-year-old injured.
And you knew it wouldn't last. Our temperatures this morning are back down to about 15 to 25 degrees colder than yesterday. We'll talk about where we go from here with temperatures and the chance of some rain this weekend.
Plus, new measles exposures. Concerns about possible additional infections in 3 counties. What you should do to protect your family. Don't worry, we're keeping our eye on that situation here on WRAL News. We appreciate you joining us this Thursday morning. I'm Chris Lovingood. Weather-wise, night and day difference there, Elizabeth. Yesterday, I woke up in the 50s. Today, waking up in the 30s. Oof.
Yep. It's that time of year where we typically see these big swings in our temperature as winter is starting to let go, spring's trying to edge its way in. Our skies are clear, so it's a nice start out there this morning. Our temperature is 41, and our wind is out of the northwest. That northwest wind is going to help to bring those cooler temperatures in, and that definitely started yesterday. We're looking at 30s and 40s heading out the door. It's kind of a wide range. 32 in Goldsboro, 33 Rocky Mount, 37 in Roxborough, 36 in Southern Pines, and 41 in Durham. And again, that's anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees colder than what we saw yesterday. But yesterday was such a warm start. Temperatures were in the 50s across our area. Our next big thing is going to be Sunday's rain. We're going to talk about the timeline and how much we could see, how you can plan around your weekend.
All right, sounds good, Elizabeth. Thank you. This morning, police in Durham are investigating 2 shootings just over a mile apart, including one that left a man dead. A 13-year-old was hurt in a drive-by shooting on Rosedale Avenue just after 9 p.m., and a man died in a shooting on East Umstead Street just before midnight. Let's bring in Ali Kadhabar. She's on East Umstead Street in the breaking news tracker right now. Ali, forensics showed up in the past hour. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing from the scene there.
This has been a very active investigation. We know from police that they're still searching for the shooter, and I want to walk you through exactly what we're seeing right now. We're seeing police tape aligning this stretch here on East Umstead Street. We've seen police go in and out of the Durham Mobile Command Unit, and then they're mainly searching this area, this sidewalk area here to our right. Now, we want to take you to this video, giving you a better idea of this area that they are searching through. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. We saw forensics taking photos of what appeared to be a pile of clothing or just debris. Police say officers found a man shot there on the sidewalk off East Umstead Street around 11:55 last night. We now know that man, Tavares Joyner, was taken to the hospital where he later died. And we're working to find out if anybody has been arrested, if they've identified any suspect or person of interest in this case. Of course, we're keeping you updated, staying on top of this story throughout the morning. Reporting live in Durham, Ali Kadhabar, WRAL News.
There was another shooting in Durham last night, and a 13-year-old was injured during that one. This was a drive-by shooting police say happened on Rosedale Avenue. It happened around 9:15. Police say the teenager was walking when someone shot at him from a passing car. The victim is expected to recover, but there's no word about any suspects in this case. New developments in measles cases across North Carolina. Health leaders are warning that people may have been exposed across 3 counties in our viewing area. Yesterday, we told you about places of potential exposures in Wake County. Well, now we're seeing places added in Durham and Johnston counties. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at the State Health Department in Raleigh. And Kelsey, health leaders are watching this situation very closely.
Yes, Chris, doctors here at the State Health Department say if you're vaccinated then and you've been exposed, then you're almost certainly safe. But if you are not vaccinated, you'll need to monitor symptoms for the next 21 days. 9 locations between Wake, Durham, and Johnston counties have been flagged for possible measles exposure. Dr. Zach Moore with the State Health Department says so far there have been at least 18 cases in North Carolina since December. Most of them children, and the majority trace back to a major outbreak in South Carolina.
We've had cases in North Carolina where we can't identify a specific exposure, so that tells us that there's unrecognized chains of measles transmission happening here in our state.
Now, there is one caveat here if you've been vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated between the years 1957 and 1968, it is recommended that you reach out to your doctor to get a measles titer. That's essentially a test to see if you still have immunity. Some of the vaccines that were back then are not as effective as the vaccines that we use today. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Now, we're also looking into the vaccination rate in counties reporting cases. NCDHHS has a measles vaccination data dashboard on their website, and this allows you to see the county-by-county vaccination rates estimated at elementary schools across the state. For example, in Wake County, in K through 5 schools, an estimated 94% of students are vaccinated. In Durham County, that number is 88%. And in Johnston County, an estimated 95% of students are vaccinated for measles. And WRAL is staying on top of the growing number of measles cases in the Triangle. You can find all of our previous coverage, including a list of exposed locations and symptoms to watch for. Just search the word measles on our WRAL.com website or WRAL.com and the news app. Well, in the search for Nancy Guthrie, authorities may have found more clues connected to her disappearance. Yesterday, FBI agents searched the roads and deserts in the Catalina Foothills Desert area there. That's just north of Tucson. A reporter from the New York Post says they saw agents pick up what appeared to be a dark glove off the side of the road. That was about 1.5 miles from Guthrie's home. It's not clear if that is the same glove that was worn by the person seen in the doorbell camera footage outside Guthrie's front door taken the night she disappeared. TMZ reported it received an email from someone who claims they know who Guthrie's kidnapper is. Nancy Guthrie has been missing for nearly 2 weeks now, and the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to her recovery. And WRAL has been following new developments in this case, beginning from the beginning. You can actually find our extensive coverage on the WRAL YouTube page. Just search the name Nancy Guthrie. Happening today, closing arguments are expected to get started in the Austin Thompson sentencing. Here's what we can expect. Closing arguments could take several hours. Thompson's defense will call all remaining witnesses. We also expect a full day of court. It was cut short yesterday because the defense's witnesses could not make it. And WRAL will be in the courtroom today. You can get caught up with what else to expect and more on the WRAL YouTube channel. You can also watch the sentencing hearing on WRAL.com. Just a heads up, in-person early voting for the 2026 primary election begins today. This year's election features races for an open U.S. Senate seat, as well as every U.S. House and state legislative district. Many voters will also be asked to choose local prosecutors, sheriffs, and other city or county leaders. And this is all ahead of the November general election. For important dates and other details on how, when, and where to vote, go to WRAL.com. A man was hurt after a Cumberland County Sheriff's deputy hit him with their cruiser. What you're seeing here is video from around 8 last night on Clinton Road where this happened. This is right outside Fayetteville. The sheriff's office says the deputy was responding to a report of a missing person. Well, while on their way to look for that person, the deputy struck a man with their cruiser, and that man has minor injuries after being hit. A North Carolina man is accused of threatening to kill a sheriff and a judge. Matthew Tart is charged with 3 felony counts of threats against executive, legislative, or court officers. Investigators say Tart made several threats on social media directed to a Duplin County judge, sheriff, and his agency. He's in jail without bond. NC State Police issued a warning that you need to hear about. They received a report of a stolen vehicle that happened along Ligon Street. This happened sometime between 11 Tuesday night and just before 8 last night. If you have any information about who may have stolen the blue 2017 Kia Sorento with the license plate tag VBD 5297, you can call the campus police. NC Highway Patrol is searching for a man they say ran after a high-speed chase in Durham there. And the man, it turns out the chase ended with a trooper's cruiser in a ditch. Sky 5 flew above that scene on Highway 55 yesterday afternoon. Highway Patrol says a trooper was trying to stop an SUV on Riddle Road for a seatbelt and registration violation. Well, that's when the SUV took off and troopers tried to stop it, but the driver got out of the SUV and then ran away. Investigators say they do know the name of the driver, but they have not shared that information with us. Durham Public Schools has fired its senior executive director of employee relations, and this happened during an investigation into reports about an autistic child who was tied to a chair. Now, Aisha Hunter's termination was approved Tuesday night, and she had been suspended with pay since December 19th. Hunter was charged last week with 6 counts of felony obstruction and 2 counts of perjury. Today at the Winter Olympics, women's curling has started. The men's team will compete later this morning, and also medals will be awarded today in 3 skiing events: luge, speed skating, and the men's and women's snowboard halfpipe. Plus, Team USA men's hockey takes on Latvia this afternoon. Let's get a look at the medal count this morning. Norway and Italy are at the top of the leaderboard with 13 medals each. Team USA took a silver medal in ice dancing last night and is now in 3rd place with 12 medals. Meanwhile, Germany and Austria round out the top 5. Wunderbar for them. Your time is 4:40 this morning. Modernizing our election system. The way we store voter data needs a 21st century makeover. We'll talk about how an update would make our elections more secure. Plus, love is in the air. We are showing you a special wedding in North Carolina. How that ceremony was extra sweet. And let's go ahead and take you a look outside this morning as we give you a live look from Rocky Mount Mills. Oh boy, the cold is hanging around this morning. And meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is going to show us just how cold we'll stay and when we will jump up to the 50s.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:44, and Franklinton says, Happy Valentine's Day. If you haven't seen this, we're just loving it. And we were just wondering, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Let's see, Franklinton, they're on a roll. But so much fun to see this. And it's a nice quiet start this morning. Our skies are mostly clear. Temperatures are colder than yesterday, though. Yesterday, of course, we were in the middle of that warm air mass. We had the rain that came through. And then the cold front, once it passed by, the chilly air is filtered in. So it's 28 in Tarboro, 36 in Lewisburg, 38 in Irwin, 33 degrees in Rocky Mount. So we are back to coat weather, back to putting the coats on when you head out with the dog this morning. Temperatures will be near freezing up until around 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. Lots of sunshine today, but we won't be as warm as yesterday. We'll see high temperatures in the low 50s. Our next big weather maker comes over the weekend. It won't rain all weekend long, but we could see some much needed rainfall totals. We'll check it out coming up.
Thank you. Well, as early voters, getting ready to head to the polls to cast ballots in the state's primary election today, State Auditor Dave Bullock says the state needs better technology to better manage elections and to boost transparency. Here's WRAL State Government reporter Caroline Leaffa.
When voters head to the polls, state election officials will be relying on outdated technology to make sure these ballots count and people are who they say they are. State Auditor Dave Bullock says it's time to make some updates to the system that manages North Carolina elections. The state still uses technology from 1998 to track voter registration, campaign finances, and report election results. Bullock's objectives are simple.
Make it easy to vote, make it hard to cheat, and accurately tabulate the votes across the state of North Carolina.
The effort comes as voter trust in elections has fallen in recent years. In 2024, a WRAL News poll found that nearly 1 in 3 North Carolina voters had little to no confidence that results would be counted accurately. Bullock unveiled a bipartisan commission of election experts aimed at overseeing the tech upgrade. He says it will ensure fair elections.
I represent and work on behalf of all North Carolinians, regardless of their political party.
Bullock was put in charge of state elections by the Republican-led General Assembly after Governor Josh Stein was elected in 2024. Lawmakers passed a spending package that gave $15 million to the Board of Elections for updates to the campaign finance software, which helped Bullock launch his commission. And he says the project likely will need more money from legislators. Caroline Leaffa, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Now, Bullock says that in the meantime, the state will use the current system for this year's election. And he assures voters that the current system will still produce fair and accurate election results. Well, the latest U.S. jobs report shows stronger than expected growth in January. That report released yesterday indicates the U.S. economy added 130,000 positions. That's actually more than 50,000 more than predicted, according to the financial analyst company FactSet Estimates. Now, unemployment dropped to 4.3%, and these January jobs numbers were set to be released last week, but the report was delayed. That was because of the partial government shutdown earlier this month. Testimony has started in the landmark trial being brought against YouTube and Meta. The head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, testified in the L.A. courtroom on Wednesday, and he says while he believes the app can be misused, he doesn't think users can be clinically addicted or hooked to it. This trial comes after a young woman sued YouTube and Meta. She claims the companies intentionally provoke addictive behavior and cause mental health issues. This is the first of more than 1,500 similar cases going to trial. Mental health is on the front of students' minds in Wake County. Star athletes met with students in the area to talk about this topic. It was hosted by the Wake County PTA at Dillard Drive Magnet Middle School. Former NC State and WNBA basketball star Chastity Melvin and Olympic BMX cyclist Cameron Larson were there, and students were given tools on how families can have a healthy conversation about mental health at home.
A lot of parents have to evolve. They have to educate themselves because the youth are going through different challenges than we did when we were younger.
All humans deal with mental health issues. All humans deal with having to make critical decisions, and helping them find solutions on how to make those is important.
They also discussed the connection between mental health and substance use. A New Bern, North Carolina couple is proving love really can be sweet. Reagan Baker and Isaiah McKinley exchanged vows at Cow Cafe in New Bern. The couple says the ice cream shop has always held a special place in their hearts. It's where they met and had their first date just a year ago, and a spot McKinley visited often as a child with his grandmother.
We're just like, oh yeah, we got married at the Cow Cafe, and people are like, what? Because you wouldn't think to get married in an ice cream parlor.
Look, y'all do you. If you're happy, you're happy. It was the shop's very first wedding, making the day extra sweet for everyone involved. I love that.
Hey, do something different, do something original. Absolutely.
Well, and if you're going to go with like a company like that, I know some people have done like a Burger King wedding. Do a local business like that. That's great.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm sorry we didn't see any wedding pictures though.
But I tell you what, though, no ice cream you're probably going to want today, especially if you're outside, because it's going to be a cold one today.
It is. We're back down to freezing in a lot of places this morning, and temperatures will be near normal. So our normal overnight low is right around freezing, and our normal high temperatures low to mid 50s. And so we're going to see that for the next couple of days. And we had that quick blip of some warm temperatures as we had a front come through. We're typically warm ahead of a front and colder behind it. So now we're behind it. We'll warm up slightly on Saturday ahead of a big front that comes through on Sunday. This looks like a solid weather maker for us with a good bit of rain. We're going to talk about how much we could see coming up in just a bit. But it's a quiet start this morning. We have the top of the tower lit in blue. Our temperature 41. Our winds have shifted to northwesterly. And a northwesterly wind, of course, has a tap of some chilly air to the north and drags it right into our area. So expect low to mid 30s. Right now it's 41, 42, but we may drop a bit with clear skies. And we're seeing sort of widespread temperatures, some low 40s, 41 in Fuquay-Varina, as well as Garner, Raleigh, Knightdale, Rollsville. But it's 33 in Chapel Hill, 35 in Clayton, and 37 in Wake Forest. So we have a wide range of temperatures. But generally, we're running anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees colder than we were this time yesterday. And even though it won't be as warm as yesterday, it'll still be a nice afternoon to be outside. 52 in Raleigh and Durham, and 57 in Fayetteville with lots of sunshine. Our wind continues to come out of the northwest for the next several days. This is a look at our wind direction. Notice that we have the arrows showing in blue, of course, because as it comes out of the northwest, it's cooler. And then when our wind shifts a little bit for Saturday, we'll likely see the red arrows coming in, and that's going to bring us some milder conditions. So temperatures today are going to be close to normal. So we're kind of sitting in there and kind of in between the blue and the red. But we don't see any really warm temperatures in our forecast. We're going to hold it right here with the chilly air. So tomorrow morning, we could drop down to 28 and 30 degrees on Saturday morning. Then it's warmer, just in time for the rain to come in. We're at 44 Sunday and 42 on Monday. So this is not likely to be a wintry precipitation type of situation. We're up to 60 on Saturday, and then again on Monday for President's Day. Valentine's Day looks nice and dry. We're going to see increasing clouds, but dinner time looks comfortable at 5 o'clock, 54, and at 9 o'clock, 47. So if you're headed out with your Valentine, you may not have to pile on the heavy coats. All right, as we warm up, you know what's going to happen. Look at this. We went to moderate, all ready for trees yesterday. So that pollen, it just seems so early, doesn't it? Looking forward to Monday. A lot of people have that day off, looking at a warm day, and then almost 70 again by Wednesday, Chris.
70 by Wednesday? Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Well, your time is 4:51 this morning. The results are in. The Puppy Bowl scored big in ratings. That and the new documentary breaking down pro basketball history.